Welcome to Massive Late Fee. And now your hosts, Mark and Carol. Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Massive Late Fee. My name is Mark. With me as always is my co-host Carol. How you doing, Carol?
Hey, what's up? Apparently I've been downgraded again. No longer his girlfriend.
Oh, sorry, Your Highness.
Seriously?
I had to wait so long for you that I wasn't sure that we were still dating.
Okay.
Or that we were still in the year 1995. It is September 8th, 1995.
Are you asking me or telling me?
Telling you?
Yes, it is September 8th.
And I've got some news for all of yous.
Please enlighten us with your views.
So, first of all, Jews. No, I'm just joking. Mark Furman, who you may remember from the OJ trial, is the guy that used the N-word a bunch on a video or a cassette tape.
Sure.
He is he's taking the fifth, refusing to testify about planting evidence.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's not a good look for the prosecution when one of their star witnesses is like getting cross-examined about, hey, did you plant evidence implicating O.J. Simpson did this? And he's like, well, I'm going to take the fifth.
Wow.
So I don't incriminate myself. Yeah, that's a wrinkle. That's a bit of a wrinkle right there, right?
Huh.
Plus, they're trying to advance this whole, like, hey, you know, from a drop of your blood, we can tell exactly who you are. It's weird. Like, we don't all have red blood.
I'm still thinking about this because I was pretty sure he did it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, it seems like they're basically saying they planted the evidence, so...
At least Mark Furman. I mean, it's weird to take the fifth, right? And just not just say, no, I didn't.
Right? Huh.
Yeah. That's a thinker for you, huh?
They asked if he planted evidence specifically about this case.
Yes.
Not like, did you ever plant evidence in your life?
It says, a subdued Mark Furman on Wednesday repeatedly invoked his right against self-incrimination rather than answer questions about whether he had planted or manufactured evidence in the O.J. Simpson murder case when he was a Los Angeles homicide detective.
Wow.
Yeah. During a brief hearing outside the jury's presence, Furman, one of the prosecution's most important witnesses, refused to answer any more questions about the case. Crazy. Also, related to that story, is apparently they have a movie, or a script, I should say, about the Mark Furman tapes.
Okay.
And they're shopping it around, but nobody's buying.
Huh.
Yeah, it says right now it's being lumped in with buzzwords like Buttafuoco and Bobbitt, who we all know, of course.
I don't see why.
Joey Buttafuoco. You don't see why. Well,
yeah, I don't see why Mark Furman's tapes about this are on the same level as Lorena Bobbitt tapes.
Well, Mark Furman, I guess what they're saying is he's like the flavor of the week. And they don't think that... They made a movie about Buttafuoco, I think. I don't know if they made a movie about Lorena Bobbitt and what she did, but they made a movie about Buttafuoco, and it didn't do particularly well, so...
Okay.
I guess people are like, we don't give a fuck about this.
Or we won't in a year, so we're not going to bother.
Yeah. That's actually surprising restraint on the part of Hollywood.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's all I've got with OJ right now. The verdict should be forthcoming soon-ish, I would think. I think the trial is nearing an end.
What do you think? What do you think's going to happen?
I think he's probably going to get found not guilty. That's my guess.
Do you think prior to this that would have been the case?
I don't. Well, there's a lot. I mean, there's still a lot to go as far as the trial goes. They still got to do closing arguments and stuff like that. It looks bad. Mm-hmm. The LAPD has for years been racist and targeting black youths and abusive. You know, like the NWA sings about it, and and you know it's in the ether there. So it's believable that they would try to frame O.J. Simpson because he's black and famous and dating a white woman or whatever.
Or was.
Yeah.
He was married to a white woman.
Yeah. But I mean, you could believe that. I don't think there's a lot. I mean, maybe there are more cities where that's true, but there are few cities that have as long of a track record of just absolute horrible behavior as the Los Angeles Police Department. And this is what they get, basically. Okay. You know, that's what I think. I mean, we can talk about it more once the verdict comes down, but yeah, people have for a long time have been like, well, they framed him because he's rich and powerful, and why would he risk this? And wouldn't he just hire somebody if he really wanted her dead? Try to distance himself from it as much as possible. Now, I think he probably did it. If you want my real opinion, based on, because I watched this trial a lot, and it sounds like he was like obsessed with her. He got pissed that he saw her with another guy, and it was like a spontaneous crime of passion, and then he, you know, escaped into the night.
Is it possible that Mark Fuhrman planted evidence because he didn't know who did it, but he planted it on the right person?
He did the wrong thing for the right reason, or the right thing for the wrong reasons, or whatever.
I don't think it's the right thing either, but
yeah,
he got the right guy.
It's possible, I suppose. It's also possible that he didn't plant any evidence at all, although I don't know why he's taking the fifth.
Maybe somebody paid him to take the fifth?
I don't know. Maybe, I mean, we could go conspiracy for conspiracy here probably forever, but yeah, I don't know. What do you think? Do you think he's going to get found guilty or not guilty?
I mean, I don't know. I think he probably is guilty, but who knows what the justice system's going to do.
Well, Rodney King exists too. Remember the riots a couple years ago after the Rodney King verdict? Uh-huh. I mean, if they convict O.J. Simpson, a black man, after not convicting the cops for beating the shit out of another black man, Rodney King, there's going to be riots.
Yeah.
For sure. If he gets found guilty, there will be more riots in Los Angeles.
That's not a reason to convict him or not.
Oh, I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying that's going to be probably on the jury's mind. Rightly or wrongly, that probably will.
I wouldn't want to be on the jury, that's for sure.
No, and they have to be sequestered. So they're in a hotel room months and months and months, like almost a year away from their families and shit. Yeah.
Not good.
A hellscape. But speaking of hellscapes, the internet, this article says the doctor is internet. Apparently, news groups are providing strong medicine for everything that ails you. Let me tell you a little bit about this. Are you curious? You look not curious about this.
News groups are providing strong medicine for everything that ails you.
That is what it says in this headline.
It's pretty dumb sounding, but go for it.
Where you can fill the information gap left by too busy doctors who don't allow enough time to cover, or where can you fill in the information gap by too busy doctors who don't allow enough time to cover everything patients want to know? Where can you find support groups made up of like-minded people who can lend a sympathetic ear or offer been-there advice? Groups you can contact without sacrificing the privacy and anonymity of your own home, even in the middle of the night when you're alone with doubts and fears. Well, the answer is these news groups, apparently.
Okay.
So, there's one called Alt Med Arthritis News Group. And, there's people talking about alternative medicine for arthritis and sharing their ideas and experiences and stuff like that for arthritis sufferers. So there's news groups talking about their medical issues.
Weird.
It makes a certain kind of sense because you can have anonymity. Like it said, you can, if you have anal fissures or something like that, you can go to Alt Medicine Anal Fissures and say, hey, my name's Tom, and this is what I'm suffering from, and let's talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there is some value to being able to talk to other people dealing with the same thing.
But the problem, I would think, is eventually it just boils down to you're getting medical advice from people that aren't doctors.
Right.
Let me talk about something that you do care about.
Let's do that.
There's a new slate of shows coming out. 42 new prime time shows.
Oh, I'm excited. That's exciting.
Are premiering this fall. The most ever, because we have 2 new networks now.
Cool.
6 networks. So these are the rookie standouts, according to the guy. I'm not even going to look up his name. Murder One. It's a cop show.
Okay.
Let's see. Live Shot. Something called JAG.
What's JAG?
I believe it stands for Judge Advocate General. It's the, what do they call them? Air Force lawyers or whatever.
Okay.
Courthouse. Those are the dramas.
Okay.
Let's go with nighttime soap opera. Central Park West, 9 p.m. CBS. And The Monroes, 9 p.m. Thursdays, ABC. Otherworldly shows, American Gothic, Nowhere Man, and Strange Luck.
I mean, otherworldly shows sounds interesting, but going just on their names, it doesn't, tell us much, so it's hard to know.
Yeah, well, I mean, I could have done my research and told you all about these shows.
Well, that would be a whole episode in and of itself, wouldn't it?
Probably. And you would get bored and just sit there and not interact with me.
Would you not be a dick? I mean, I know it's hard to suppress your natural instincts, but if you could try, that'd be great.
So, the comedies are The Naked Truth. I think that's about a tabloid, I believe. A tabloid paper. Bless This House. Hudson Street. Partners. A show called Brotherly Love on 8 p.m. Sundays on NBC.
What's that about?
I believe that's the Lawrence brothers.
Okay.
Joey, Lawrence, and his brothers.
Okay.
I don't know.
That might be okay, I guess.
And then comedian, how Seinfeld's doing well. Well, another comedian is getting a show. Drew Carey. The Drew Carey Show, it's imaginatively called. 8:30 p.m. Wednesdays on ABC.
When you say it's imaginatively called, it's I imagine unicorns dancing around behind him or something.
I'm saying it's not very imaginative to call
what
it
you're saying.
The Drew Carey Show. It's not an inventive name. That's what I'm saying.
I understand.
Yeah. Do you?
I do.
Okay. What do you think?
Smart.
What do you think of that? What's the standout for you of that group?
Well, I really like Seinfeld, so I'm interested in giving Drew Carey a shot.
I've seen his stand-up.
Do you like it?
Yeah, he's pretty funny.
And then, like I said, Brotherly Love sounds okay. And any of the other worldly shows would be at least worth a watch. How about for you?
I think Murder One's got a chance to be something.
Okay.
And I mean, you'll force me to watch the Drew Carey Show, so.
I will. I'm going to force you to watch all of it.
Yeah, we're going to watch every single one of those shows.
No, just the ones I said.
Okay. Well, speaking of forcing, it's time for another edition of Massive Love, Carol.
Wow. Speaking of forcing, huh? This is some bad Massive Love.
Well, how about an extra large cuddly bear? Is this a cuddly bear that's cheating on his wife? Extra large cuddly bear, passive, gay, white male, 33, 6'1", 340 pounds.
So he's a big, cuddly bottom.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't think about that, but sure.
Well, I mean, that's what I assume they mean by passive.
Yeah. Brown hair / beard / mustache, green eyes, smoker. Seeking sincere gay or bi male, 20 to 40. For dating, romance, or relationship, race and weight, open.
See, that's smart. Put it right out there. Smoker. So then you don't need to worry about all those annoying people. Oh my God, you smoke? No smokers. It smells so bad. It's so bad for you. I hate those people.
Do you?
I do. All of them.
Okay.
I also hate everybody who gets to smoke.
Yeah, we don't smoke anymore.
Very jealous.
Okay, here's one. Affluent, generous Asian businessman.
Okay.
5'6", 132 pounds.
So he's like tiny.
Non-smoker. Seeking young, petite, white female for discreet relationship. You'll be glad that you called.
So basically, he wants a white prostitute, but he doesn't want to go down to 8 Mile and look for one.
Yeah, you'd find a lot of white prostitutes on an 8 Mile, wouldn't you?
Okay, fine. You just want to go to Flint? I don't know.
Yeah.
Where the white prostitutes hang out.
Flint. Yeah. Where you at, white prostitutes? Where you hanging out? Yeah. Do you think now, is it stereotypical to assume 5'6", 132 pounds, that he's not exactly endowed?
Well, I mean, you also got to throw in that he's Asian.
Well, now you're getting really stereotypical.
Well,
sure.
so are you.
I asked if it was stereotypical.
Yes.
You're just going right for it.
It is. It's totally stereotypical, but we all thought it.
We did. Every single one of us.
We did. All the people that live in my head, they're like, hey, he's got a small dick. That's why he's got to pay for sex.
Wow. But he's not pay. He didn't say he's going to pay.
He said that he's an affluent, generous businessman. You'll be happy you called.
He's a Toyota executive.
He is going to pay. He may not directly leave the money on the nightstand, although he might, but he's going to take her out for fancy meals and buy her things. And
like a new Corolla.
yeah, he's going to pay.
All right. You want a new car?
Hey,
What?
don't be rude and gross.
Okay. Happily married, nice looking white male, 35, seeking happily married Ferndale.
Happily married Ferndale?
Yep. Turned 22 to 35 for discreet daytime fun. Let's meet for lunch. Dearborn area preferred. So.
What? Okay, Dearborn and Ferndale are nowhere near each other. Get your geography right.
He doesn't want her to live anywhere near his family and his wife. Happily married. What is your definition of happy?
Right? You should be having discreet daytime fun with your wife, you asshole.
I talked to this dude one time, though, who was cheating on his wife. And he told his wife about it. His wife found out about it. And he said that it was her problem, that she had a problem with it, that she was trying to put him in this box.
What?
He was like middle-aged, okay? Mm-hmm. So he's like in his mid to late 40s, I think. And his point of view was, hey, I dated this woman, or I was seeing this woman. We had sex 3 times. I felt so great and alive and everything. She's so vibrant and pretty and all this stuff. We had sex 3 times, and then I came home and we played Clue, me and the family and everything, and they had fun. I had fun. It was great. Like, my wife's forcing me into this box.
What the fuck?
Of, I have to, monogamy, basically, I guess. And he said, I think that I should be able to have sex with whoever I want and still have my family life with my family.
Wow.
Yeah, that was his point of view.
Did he get divorced?
I don't know. We weren't great friends or anything. I never followed up on it.
I really sincerely hope he got divorced. Because, what he's not even fucking thinking about is, what boxes his wife in, having to, take care of him and their family. And then he's bringing home, who knows what on his penis that he's going to want her to suck later.
I think he doesn't ask for that. I think that's the whole point, though. He doesn't want her anymore.
Well, then he should get divorced.
I guess.
Don't stay married if you don't want to be with your spouse anymore.
I think now, I don't agree with him, but to play devil's advocate, I think his point was he was no longer sexually attracted to his wife, but he still loved her and loved the life they had. He just needed that side of him sated someplace else.
So figure out a way to be sexually attracted to your wife again.
I guess, yeah, sure.
Because guess what? Little Miss Vibrant makes you feel great. Won't do it for you in 10 years after 3 kids either.
Well, yeah, then she gets somebody else. Just keep upgrading to another model.
Guys are dicks.
Well, let's test your senses, Carol.
Okay.
Glowing candles, soft music, aromatic incense, and sweet-tasting sensual body oils. What gay black male's touch is missing from this picture? Gay white male 37, hoping it's yours.
Well, he definitely paints a picture.
Yeah, I don't know why this is in... He's looking for a gay black male, obviously.
Uh-huh.
I don't know why this is in the alternative section and not the men seeking men section, but... Whatever. Alternative because maybe he doesn't want a actual relationship.
Maybe.
I guess this is for people not looking for relationships. Male would like how this is the other one that I thought was great.
Mm.
Male would like phone conversation with married or single female. Leave the best time for me to call. He wants a 900 number.
Wow.
I mean, there are 900 numbers. Just call him. He doesn't want. Yeah. He wants the 900 number. He doesn't want to pay.
But he paid for this ad.
He's like, let me call you up. I'm gonna jerk off while you talk. What do you think he wants to hear? Do you think that he wants you to sexy talk, or do you think that he'd be okay with you running down your grocery list?
I don't think it matters, honestly. I mean, I worked in a call center before, and guys will call...
A 900 number call center?
No! A help center call center.
Oh, teen line.
And guys will call and just want to keep you talking because they want to hear a girl's voice, I think. And then, yeah, you realize that's happening.
I wonder if... Really? That happened to you, huh?
More than once.
Wow. I wonder if there's anybody that listens to our tapes because of that.
Oh my God!
I wonder if my voice continues to interrupt. They're like, yeah, stop talking, let her talk.
That's so gross. God, why would you even go there?
You just went there.
You made the tapes dirty.
No, I'm sure people are just listening to this for entertainment value.
Yeah, because we're so entertaining.
As you clean your nails.
I'm not cleaning my nails.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm playing with my...
You're playing with a hair tie in your thumb.
Yes.
Wow.
I'm fidgety, not bored.
Okay.
Jeez.
ADHD. Well, hello, everybody. It's Future Mark and Future Carol here.
Hey, what's up?
We're here to talk to you about an exciting sponsor for our show called MyBookie.
I'm very excited.
Are you familiar with MyBookie's work?
No, not really.
So you're aware what a bookie is?
Yes.
We saw Hidden Gems. They're guys that sit inside vestibules and steam while you win a basketball bet and then shoot you in the head afterwards.
Okay, so
Spoilers
I don't think we should be working with them then.
Spoilers for Inside Gems. Or Hidden Gems or Uncut Gems, whatever the hell it's called.
That Adam Sandler piece of crap, yeah.
Yeah. So, no, MyBookie, though, they take the middleman, the guy that shoots you in the head, out of the equation. And instead, you just go to mybookie.ag and you say, hey, this basketball game's going on right now. I think that I will bet on it, and I'm going to place a safe and secure bet here at my bookie, and then when I win, I'll be able to cash out really easily.
And that's all like legal and stuff now?
Yes, absolutely.
That's so cool. I didn't really realize that, you could do that.
Yep. The internet is an amazing thing. And so is the winning season, which is returning to my bookie. You know what the winning season means, Carol? The winning season means
I
doubling your first deposit. So all you have to do is go to mybookie.ag, use our promo code, which is RetroFees, and they will match dollar for dollar up to $1,000 on your first deposit.
Wow, that's a good deal.
You put $1,000 in, they say, here's $1,000 to go nuts with.
Should we do that?
Yeah, let's put $1,000
do
in. Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Also, there's sports is going on right now. The football season's probably going to happen from everything that I've heard. College football is going to happen. The NBA playoffs are going on right now. We got baseball heating up. Everything. And it's just, there's, you're stuck in the house. You're not driving all the way to the casinos, which aren't open, or they are open, but they're not supposed to be open. Or you have
or they're
to
in your
social
buddy's
distance.
basement right now.
Do you want to avoid coronavirus? Sit in your house and bet.
Watch sports and go on mybookie.ag.
AG. Yeah, that's right. That stands for always good. Now, if you sign up and you make your first deposit and they give you that dollar for dollar thing, you will be able to be eligible for a free entry into the famed MyBookie Super Contest. So to play this contest, all you have to do is pick 5 NFL games against the spread to have a chance at $100,000 guaranteed in cash prizes. That's not that hard. My friend Ben and I, when we used to live in Vegas, Carol and I used to live in Vegas, but this was actually before we lived in Vegas.
He lived in Vegas twice.
Yeah. We used to do that. We would bet. It's called a parlay, and we'd bet against the spread. And sometimes we'd pick 5 teams. Sometimes we'd pick 10 teams. The more teams you pick, the bigger the payout. 5 teams is actually not super hard. Ben and I have both done it before.
Okay.
The best part is MyBookie has thousands of bets to choose on, from the full NFL slate, the NBA playoffs, live betting to championship futures, which is betting on, I think the Tigers are going to win the World Series.
Okay.
Right?
Sure. I don't, but sure.
Every play you want to make is waiting for you at MyBookie. It is simple. Make your picks, win big, collect your cash.
Well, that does sound simple.
Yep.
I think you would need to talk to me quite a bit about all this different sports jargon first, but
all you need to know is to use the promo code RETROFEES and double your first deposit. It's a no-brainer.
Yay.
Back to 1995.
It's so much better there.
Why don't you sigh and then tell us about the movie that we watched?
So, this week we saw To Wong Foo, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar.
Yes.
And
you got it.
I thought it was going to suck. Honestly, I was not looking forward to it.
It was my idea, and Carol was like, no.
It made me sad to think about Patrick Swayze dressed up like a woman because he's so hot, and I didn't want that image ruined for me.
What about Wesley Snipes? Westerford Snipes.
Good actor, not hot.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then the other dude, I have no idea what he looks like as a dude.
John Leguizamo.
Yeah, but he made a really pretty girl.
Yeah.
So, but it was a really, really good movie. I was really surprised.
It is interesting that you never see him as a man in this entire movie. You see Patrick Swayze and Wesley Snipes at the beginning getting made up.
Yeah.
From man to woman. You kind of see their transformation a little bit.
Yeah.
I guess John Leguizamo's transformation was throughout the movie. They keep calling him like a boy in a dress.
I don't think, he had a definitely emotional,
That's
transformation,
what I'm saying, yes.
But yeah, there was no physical transformation.
No.
He was pretty to start out with, and he was pretty at the end. And I really think they were jealous because he's prettier than they are.
Well, he looks more like a woman than they do.
Yeah. Patrick Swayze is super good looking, but in a manly, handsome way, not a pretty way.
Right.
And Wesley Snipes is a really good actor.
No, yeah, he's good.
That's all I can say.
Wow. Okay. I think a lot of people disagree with you, but okay.
Yeah? You think he's handsome?
I didn't say I think he's handsome. I'm saying I think a lot of people disagree with you.
Well, maybe. But he's got very, harsh features.
He does.
I don't find that attractive.
He's a very vascular person.
What does that mean?
You can see his veins.
Okay. Why are you looking at his veins?
I'm talking about the vein in his dick. What are you talking about? Why am I looking at his veins? Because his skin is on display.
It's just a weird thing to say.
All right.
Anyways. Okay, so this movie, like Mark said, starts off, you can see the transformation for Wesley Snipes, and all of a sudden my mind went blank. And I've said his name so many times now. Patrick Swayze. In the beginning of the movie. And they go to do, what is it? What kind of contest?
It's it's New York City drag contest.
Right.
It's a beauty pageant.
Yeah, but I mean,
beauty pageant for drag queens.
It's kind of like, the preliminaries to Miss America, right?
I
Except
guess
it's for drag.
It's this club, which apparently it doesn't matter anyway because, I guess, spoiler for the end of the movie, someone wins it that didn't even qualify.
Right, that's true.
So I guess it doesn't matter at all.
I guess it's more like a poker tournament where as long as you get a ticket to the next round, whether you win it or purchase it, you're still going to qualify.
Yeah, as long as you can make it there.
Yeah. So Patrick Swayze and Wesley Snipes tie for first place.
Vita and Noxema.
Yes.
That's their names in this movie.
Yeah, Vita Boheme, and they're going to go by plane, right?
Well, they get plane tickets, yes.
Yeah.
They win plane tickets and hotel accommodation and all that stuff.
Very exciting.
It is very exciting.
They run into...
I don't know. John Leguizamo.
I don't remember his character's name either. A boy in a dress.
Right. Puerto Rican. Swayback. As Patrick Swayze says.
Oh my goodness.
As Patrick Swayze says 5 times.
It's terrible. They're so racist to him. They're walking up the stairs. They see him crying. And...
little Latin boy.
Yeah. Why is the little Latin boy in a dress crying? What's wrong with the little Latin boy in a dress? He's not even there. What in the fuck? They're very rude. I mean, that's they're kind because they do choose to bring him with them.
Mm-hmm.
But mean, too. The whole movie.
It's funny because I didn't understand differences between people that dress up in women's clothing and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And Patrick Swayze at one point, as they're driving in the car, just explains it, which I think is interesting.
Yeah.
And he says, when a straight man puts on a dress, he's a transvestite.
Yeah.
When someone puts on a dress because they want to be a woman, they are transsexual, right? And when a gay man puts on a dress to be fabulous, because he's too fabulous for men's clothes or whatever, then he's a drag queen.
Right.
And when, you're just a boy in a dress or whatever, you don't
even qualify for any of that.
You haven't achieved drag queen status yet.
Yeah, so mean.
They're very mean to John Leguizamo.
So they say that he has to, there are 4, which they're making this up totally on the fly as they're driving, but there are 4 stages to get to being a drag queen.
They finally relent and say that she's a drag princess.
Yeah, because John Leguizamo just jumps out of the car and starts running away like, fuck you guys, I'm done.
Yeah.
So that's how they get him back.
I guess we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves. They see him and they say, hey, we're going to contact Robin Williams. It's the real Robin Williams, so he's not playing a character. No, his character's name is John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt.
But isn't that from a song?
Yeah. It's obviously a pseudonym.
Right.
Just like Noxema and Vita are pseudonyms. But they sell their plane tickets and they get a car. They sell their plane tickets for $1,000.
And they buy a
car for $50.
Really pretty really
It's
pretty
Cadillac.
car. Yeah, that, they can drive with the top down and be all stylish. But the guy tells them that's not going to make it across the country.
Yeah, he's like, this car sucks.
But they don't care. They just want to look fabulous. So, yeah, they decide to bring him and drive across the country. And
They're going to teach him. They're going to take him under their wing because Patrick Swayze's character is super, like, altruistic, I guess. Wesley Snipes doesn't want to do it at all.
no. And Patrick Swayze's character also, we find out, comes from a very rich family.
Mm-hmm.
And
Old money.
why did they drove by his house.
The ones with the severe underbite.
Right.
Old Pennsylvania money. We made our money in steel. We played poker with Andrew Carnegie.
Right. It was really sad, though. They drove by his house and they parked, and his mom came out to pick up the newspaper or something and saw him, and they made eye contact, and it's obvious she recognized him.
Yeah.
And she just turned around and went back in the house.
Yeah, like he was a monster.
It was very sad. But I don't know what the point was in the first place.
They wanted to see where Patrick Swayze grew up.
That's it?
Yeah.
It was just curiosity.
Yeah. Wesley Snipes is like, I can't even believe I've never even seen it. I want to see it. Because they're old friends. They've just made friends with John Leguizamo.
So, yeah, so that happens.
What's a Miss something? Oh, Jason London calls him Miss something a bunch of times. I don't remember now.
I have no idea.
Oh, Chi-Chi Rodriguez.
Yes! Chi-Chi.
Miss Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi Rodriguez.
Yeah, Chi-Chi.
A name almost as offensive as most of the dialogue in this movie.
So they're driving along and they get pulled over.
Mm-hmm.
And Vita is in the driver's seat
Yep.
and says, "Oh, this is going to be a problem because the name on my driver's license is Eugene."
Yeah, because he's really a guy.
Right. But, they're made up like women. And this officer thinks that he's a woman.
Oh, yeah.
Which I don't understand how people in this movie... Maybe it's just...
Everyone in this movie, no one... Only one person, only Stockard Channing, because of her time in Greece, probably, knows that these are men.
Right.
And not women. We find out at the end of the movie that she knew all along that they were guys. But everyone else apparently thinks they're women. I don't know how.
Yeah, I mean, they don't look... I can kind of see, like I said, I can kind of see Chi-Chi getting taken for a woman for real.
Maybe.
But not the other two.
There are some real-life drag queens at the beginning of this movie in the pageant thing. Mm-hmm. And they show them and everything. And there are some of them that I'm like, wow, that really looks like a woman. I can't believe that's not a woman. Mm-hmm. But... not these people.
No, they look like guys in dresses.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
RuPaul's actually, she has a little cameo too at the beginning.
That's cool.
Where she crowns the winner.
But the officer, now I kind of agree with Vita on this.
Chris Penn.
It was wrong of them to just sit there, by the way, when he tells her to get out of the car. But he says, "Get out of the car. You ladies stay in the car. Mm-hmm. You're going to come with me."
Well,
and,
wait a second. Wait. He says, "You're real pretty."
Yeah, before he says, "Get out of the car," which is not what you want to hear. Just like, wasn't it last week when it came up with
the prophecy?
Yeah, being told. No, not the prophecy.
That's what we saw last week.
But there was another movie recently where someone was told they were pretty when you don't want to hear it. I don't know. Anyway. In like a threatening manner.
The Net?
I don't remember.
I don't remember what movie.
I just
what movie
remember
"You're Pretty" was a threat.
Making the statement recently on the show.
Okay.
That, oh, you don't want to hear "You're Pretty" right then.
If you remember what episode that was, write in.
So it happened again.
Latefee1994 at AOL.com, or just go to the retrolatefee.com and put your stuff in.
So yeah, especially because he says to Patrick Swayze before he gets out of the car, "You're pretty," and then tells the other two to wait there. I think they should assume that something bad is going to happen. Mm-hmm. But they do just sit there and wait. And he says, "Give me a kiss."
Yeah. She's like, yeah, I don't think you want one.
And then he picks him up. He picks Patrick Swayze up and sets him on the car. Like, this cop is not that big, and Patrick Swayze is way bigger, and I don't understand how that even happened.
Yeah, she had to allow herself to get picked up.
And then he reaches up the dress and grabs his dick.
Well, that's not what he thought he was grabbing.
It's what he grabbed.
He said, wow, your clitoris is really huge. What?
That's not what he said. That's gross. Ew. What?
Just keep going.
So, then Patrick Swayze pushes him over, and he falls down and hits his head, and they think that he's dead.
From a push.
Yeah.
Doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
He
But
got knocked out, sure, but yeah. Bit of an overreaction. So they think they've killed a police officer, and they take off. And
a rapist police officer.
Right?
If she was a woman...
He'd have raped her.
Yeah, for sure.
And her friends apparently would have just sat in the car and, watched in the rearview mirror? Like,
what year is this supposed to be, by the way?
I don't know.
It doesn't seem like a modern movie.
But it kind of does. I think it's just...
He looks at Wesley Snipes and he's like, yeah, we don't take with white people riding around with, N-bombs and Hispanics, but, a less kind word for that.
Right.
And he's like, we don't take that in this town. They think they're in West Virginia. And he's like, you're a long way from West Virginia.
Yeah, we never find out where they are. Yeah.
I'm guessing it's like Nebraska or something based on the corn and shit. Or Iowa.
Well, and the town they end up in is kind of dusty. Like they're in the West. Don't you think?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
But I think
how the hell could they think they're in West Virginia and they're in like New Mexico or something? That doesn't make any sense.
They're in the country.
They're in the Midwest.
And
you know how everyone cares about L.A. and New York, and then everything else is flyover country? They're there,
right?
Flyover country.
But here's the thing: is I think it could be modern day because it's just supposed to be the country and like people who
people
are
still think that shit.
Backwoods and yeah,
people still think like that. It's so crazy.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that there are people that think like that still.
I thought we were more evolved than that.
I don't know if we're ever going to get there.
All right.
So, they're driving along, and the car just stops working like they were warned it would. And Chi-Chi's so funny. They're like, oh gosh, we're going to die here. What are we going to do? And he's like, I've got legs. I'll be back. I'll get us a ride. And it totally works. So, they get picked up.
Jason London happens to drive by.
That's who it is?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the young man that is okay.
He was in, I believe, Dazed and Confused.
Okay. Cool. So
it is cool.
It is cool. So he brings them
Richard
back.
Linklater.
What a name.
That's the director.
Okay. He brings them back to this little town. It seems like not even real. Like he just pulls up in the middle of the street and is hollering at a building and people come out to help. Like it just, we don't live like that.
No. No, we live in a suburb. We don't live in the country.
So yeah, they're trying to fix the car. They go get it. They work on it. They don't have the part because they don't have Cadillac parts.
Yeah. And it doesn't have old Cadillac parts.
Right. So they got to wait 2 days for the part to come. And in the meantime, there's 15 people maybe in this whole town?
Yeah. Well, what's funny, too, is they act like they're like, we can't wait. But obviously they could because they made it to that thing.
Right.
Like, I
think they thought they couldn't last that long in this little town.
I suppose. There's a scene of magic realism in the movie where they're like, we need to fabulatize this room or whatever. And they start throwing, like, colored scarves around. And it's like, what's that movie? It's like Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
Where they're throwing stuff around and it just like, all of a sudden it just conforms to the wall in whatever shape they want it to. Almost like they're witches.
It was pretty cool.
It's not, obviously it's a metaphor or whatever. I don't know. It's not supposed to really be like that.
Right.
But it was an interesting little visual zhuzh.
But yeah, I mean, this town is kind of weird. Like you pointed out, there's just all the guys in the town are just wandering around in a pack like rapists.
There's just a pack of rapists walking around the town for some reason because they corner Chi-Chi at one point and they look like they're going to gang rape her. And I said to you, I was like, I can't, like, this is where I was confused because I leaned to you in the theater and I was like, why are there so many guys in town that are just cool with having sex with a dude? And you were like, they think it's a girl. They really thought that they were all women. And I didn't realize that up until this point, that people wouldn't know that they're drag queens. But I guess in New York, they would. You'd see someone like this walking down the street, you know, like Patrick Swayze in a dress, and you'd be like, oh, drag queen.
Yeah.
But in the small town, they just assume, it's almost like a magic power. If you put on a dress, oh, that's a woman. It's like, what about her mustache? That's fine.
Yeah, I guess it's, context. Like, their brain's not used to looking for a drag queen. So,
but yeah, so there's just these pack of rapists that are going to rape Chi-Chi, and then Jeremy London rides up, or Jason London, Jeremy London's his brother. Jason London drives up like a hero and saves her. And
for the second time now in his truck, saves her.
And takes her to a sign, this old abandoned billboard. That says, I love Pepsi or something like that, or I love Coke, or I like Coke. And he's spray painted out Coke and put in Chi-Chi. Yeah.
Apparently that's like a really romantic gesture out in the country.
Well, when you're a Puerto Rican boy in a dress, that is pretty romantic.
So Chi-Chi just thinks he's the best. And
she's falling for him.
He doesn't know you're not a girl. Like, what the fuck?
He should be, yeah, she should tell him, basically. But she doesn't.
No.
At least not at first.
So there's, all this going on where he's, thinking that, they're going to have something. And then the people that they're staying with who are working on their house, is it a hotel or is it their house?
I think it's like they have like a little boarding thing or something. I don't know. He's the mechanic, but he's also has these extra rooms that they're renting out, I guess.
It's just one room.
So
it could have been their house.
I suppose. I don't know what the hell's going on.
They let them stay there, whether it's a hotel or not, I guess. And
but Stockard Channing and her husband, that's who it is.
So Stockard Channing's getting the shit beat out of her.
Yeah. Patrick Swayze comes in and she's got a black eye. She's crying, saying that she's cutting onions. Mm-hmm. Patrick Swayze's like, there's no fucking onions in here.
Yeah.
Why don't I spice this food? And
that's so stupid and rude and like cause so many problems.
Yeah, he was trying to spice up the food so that it would taste better. And like you said, incredibly rude. Let me just come into your kitchen and mess your food.
Right.
And she's like, no, he doesn't like spice. What a asshole too. Right.
And so then
who doesn't like spice?
And then she's trying to like dig it out of the stew or whatever that was, chili. I don't know.
He's got ulcer problems, I think, or something.
Who knows?
Peptic acid.
Then, of course, he tastes it later, and he's like, you put spices in here.
It's too spicy.
She's like, but I took them out.
Yeah. He throws the pot.
Yeah.
Threatens to hit her. We never actually see her hit her. He does a lot of threats.
But he did hit her because she has a black eye. We know what happened.
Meanwhile, Chris Penn is alive. He's found on the, in the road. Having slept all night, apparently, but knocked out all night. I don't know if he's got a concussion or what.
Yeah, who just lays on the ground all night like that? That's bizarre.
The rest of his demeanor seems almost like he's got a concussion. So he goes around looking for them in a very comical type way. He says, "Where could they be?" And he puts like flower boutique.
He makes a list of
ballet studio
where fags hang out or something like that. I don't remember what he put on there, but it's something like that.
Yeah, it's very ridiculous.
Yeah. And then he just starts going to all those places, which apparently is very close to the town they're actually in.
He talks to I don't know who these people are. He's the sheriff of his county or whatever. He talks to a panel of 3 police officers in different color uniforms. And they're like, so you're telling me you got beat up by a girl? And they all start laughing at him like they're in 7th grade.
Yeah, it was pretty dumb.
And he's like, they were guys. It was a guy dressed up as a girl. And they like laugh even harder. Like they think he's just making it up. Like they can't even conceive of a world where a guy would dress up as a girl.
Right. It's
so weird. But they laugh him out. And he says, I'm going to come back here with 3 corpses. Then we'll see who's laughing.
And they're just like, okay, haha.
Yeah, they don't care at all that he's just threatened the lives of 3, civilians.
Nope. Well, because, they're women or men dressed like women, so why would they care?
Yeah, who gives a fuck about them? So, yeah, he continues his manhunt for them while this is going on. And at one point, he goes into a bar, and he's talking in such detail about guys dressed as girls and what they do to each other and running their hands through the hairy chest and stuff like. It very much seems like he's repressing that he's gay.
Yeah, he spent way too much time on way too much detail.
I think I was like, who thinks this much about it if they're not gay?
To the point it was making me as an audience member a little uncomfortable. I can't imagine how someone would feel sitting next to him on a bar stool.
Right. But no one seemed to care.
Were they even listening?
He's just ranting to himself.
Yeah, he seems really crazy.
Yeah. And his character is a little unnecessary to me for the plot of the movie. We don't spend much time on him. We shouldn't. I don't even know if we need him in the movie at all. The problem and the fish out of water aspect of it is simply we could have just had a ticking clock as the antagonist. We don't need a formal antagonist in the movie. Like, their car breaks down in the middle of nowhere where people aren't used to drag queens, and how are they going to acclimate to this town? How's the town going to acclimate to them? Are they going to be able to find common ground? That's the majority of the movie. I think that's all it really needs to be.
Yeah, that's all it needs, but at the same time, I think it's trying to make a statement about how they're treated.
Yeah,
You know? I mean, first of all, he just assumed they're women, and he's gonna rape them.
Right.
And that shit
a lot of
happens.
rape going on in Middle America, apparently.
It happens.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard bad things about police officers pulling women over sometimes. I mean, I don't assume that every police officer is a rapist, but it does happen.
All right.
So, I think there's that, and then just the fact that, once he realizes that these are guys in dresses, it's like, oh my God, I got to find him and kill him.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's kind of needed just for that extra element of,
Je ne sais quoi?
No. Just hostility. Yeah.
Okay. The payoff to it is nothing, though. He finds them in the town because wife abuser basically tells him, it's like Cinderella. She left a shoe at the crime scene, and he shows it to the fucking wife beater, and he's like, oh, I know who belongs to that shoe. Don't know how.
Right.
But he very much pays attention to that, I guess. So he takes him back to the town, and the sheriff shows up with a shotgun, says, bring him out, I'm going to kill him. And the, Stockard Channing comes out and says, it says very much as a Spartacus moment. I'm a drag queen, and everyone's like, I'm a drag. And then he's like, you don't know, they're horrible, they're not natural, blah 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 blah. And then he just leaves.
Yeah.
He's more easily stymied than it seems like he should be.
But I think that was really cool, though, because even though the people in the town, aside from Stockard Channing or whatever, didn't know they were drag queens, when it came out, all of them were like, you know what, they're our friends, though, and we're gonna, protect them.
It was nice, yeah.
I think that it was a good extra touch to the movie. I don't think it was unnecessary.
So what did you think overall?
I liked it so much. The characters are so cute. The interactions are just I like it. And like they have the scene where they're trying on old clothes from the 60s. It's cute and just I everything about it made me happy. It made me smile and feel good except for the rape stuff.
So, the rape didn't make you feel good?
No, not that.
So, well, yeah, they cow the rapists by basically, I think, it's Wesley Snipes grabs one of them by the dick and pulls them over, and it's like, hey, this is how you talk to ladies, you little shit, and kind of schools them, and then from then on, they're just fine. Yeah. They're just nice guys. That's all you need. That's all that needs to happen.
One dick grabbing, and they're right in line.
Right. So, a lot of people are giving this movie not as great reviews, and I think they're unfavorably comparing it to the movie from last year that came out of Australia with those two Australian dudes. They haven't been in hardly anything, but Guy Pearce and Hugo Weaving, called Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, also about drag queens, and they're driving a bus across Australia. But they're like, hey, this movie's too tame, and it's not like the Priscilla movies has like real teeth and stuff like that. But I think this is how you, if you want to change things or you want to normalize, because men that dress up as women are, they're part of marginalized groups in society, like women, like black people, stuff like that. And I think if you want to normalize a group like that, you want to ingratiate them to middle America, this is how you do it. With this kind of, cute and, like a safe story. A safe story with new types of characters that you're not used to seeing. I think there's merit to stories with real teeth and stories that deal with, but I don't think that's what ingratiates middle America into these kind of cultures. Yeah. I think these stories are what does it. I don't think whenever we finally get a TV show that focuses mostly on gay characters, I don't think it's going to be a gritty drama. It'll be a comedy show.
I agree.
Because that's how you connect. You don't connect with stark realism. Because it's for people that people need their guards down a little bit in order to kind of accept things. People need to be not defensive. And dramas and action and stuff like that can make people defensive. They can get people's guards up. But comedy breaks down those kind of walls and barriers.
That makes sense.
So that's my opinion. I think the movie does more to ingratiate women dressing as men, drag queens and stuff into middle America than the Priscilla, Queen of the Desert movie, which is a good movie, but I think this one does more for that cause.
Okay.
That's my opinion. What do you think? You got anything more to say?
Just that the title of the movie?
Yeah.
And how it actually works into the movie? That's something that's unnecessary. It
doesn't really work into the movie. Julie Newmar appears at the end to crown, Chi-Chi, the champion of drag queens, which completes her emotional arc from outcast to full-fledged drag queen.
Right.
Queen of the drag queens. But yeah, Julie Newmar shows up at the end. For that reason alone, I'm surprised she wasn't in a Catwoman outfit.
Well, and in the beginning, Patrick Swayze steals her picture off the wall. Yeah. That's signed that way.
She's like a spiritual guide to them, for some reason.
I guess.
It's the connection between him and her is never, it's never established. It's not like he was like, if they indicated somehow she's so fabulous and gorgeous, and that's why I want to dress like a woman, then I would get it more. If that was like his idol, I would get it more. But it's maybe sort of implied that's what's going on, but it's never foreshadowed. It's never even really hinted at. He's just like, he sees a picture of her and he's like, oh, she's so beautiful and statuesque. It could have been Marilyn Monroe. It could have been anybody.
Right.
Any pretty woman, right? She's like, oh, she's so beautiful and statuesque. I think she should accompany us. And he steals the little picture, and that goes with them in the car. And it's like, yeah, I agree with you. It's too nebulous. There's no strong connection.
Yeah.
If we saw a flash of Patrick Swayze when he was a little boy, seeing her as Catwoman or something like that, or in a movie or whatever, and we really saw the connection, and then we could foreshadow his mom, or at least give shades of his mom rejecting him and what he wants to be in that moment, then that would make more sense. It would give more meaning to her cameo at the end.
Yeah, but there's no connection at all.
No, and no real meaning to her cameo at the end.
Could have named the movie anything else, especially Wong Foo's not even in the movie.
Yeah, I don't know where that comes from.
Yeah,
I don't know if this is based on a book. I don't know if this is based on something else. I don't know if there's deeper meaning somewhere in it. But
if there is, if somebody out there knows what the deeper meaning behind to Wong Foo with
thanks for everything, Julie.
Yeah. Let us know.
Yeah. But anyway, so Carol, tell the people the stuff.
So one more week to get into this contest.
Right.
www.retrolatefee.com.
Mm-hmm.
And you can write us at latefee1994 at AOL.com.
Yep. All right. We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.